Hello. Sorry, I'm looking for something. This is why I'm going through the pages because I know I wrote down something important and I don't know where, if it's in this book or the other one. That's why I'm looking. You know when you want to find something and you're like, I'm sure it's around here. Hello. I'm going to write down yeah, probably it's mirrored, but yeah, I'm left-handed, so from my perspective, I go from from left to right. Um, not I don't know. Maybe we are. It's mirrored. I'm going to write down the names of the people I'm going to read for today, guys. Sorry, I'm looking for. Sorry, I'm going to turn on a bit the AC because I'm melting. I was waiting for the incense cone to run out, and I need air. Yeah, I do have a lot, Charlene. Oh, I do have a lot. But it's going to be very brief, like, private. It's a simple spread. It's not that complex. It's a three cards spread for this subject. I'm going to try and see how does this series go. If people like it, if you enjoy it, I can keep doing it. If not, we can move on to the next thing. A lot of the people that are today, I'm seeing that they are actors and actresses, so it's interesting. Not a lot of idols. I didn't know. I wasn't sure who to do just. Yeah, I know. So we wouldn't have the same people all over again. So I didn't leave it. Aw. I like to know how the idols, actors, actresses react when they are dumped. We can do this. Hello, Alexis. Concept. Um, I mean, like who? I think that there might be like two options for that, for how they react when they are dumped. Either they get angry and frustrated, or they just don't care. Also, since we are in Valentine's week, it's been Valentine's season all along. But next Saturday, for those who maybe are watching the replay, the subject for next Saturday, for the live stream of Saturday, is going to be about duos, about dynamics or friendships. I do have a lot of those readings, but since we are, in the week of some I was going to say some Valentines because we here in my country we call it San Valentin, call it like, because of the saint, but Valentine's Day. So it's going to be about connections. So then I'm going to create a post, a community post for that, so you can leave your favorite duo or your favorite two people, idol or actor or actresses, artists in general. So yeah, let's do this. So yeah, Saturday is all going to be about duos. That also, I believe that is going to be a very busy day because usually the Valentine's readings, people just want to know about certain duos, and definitely I'm going to choose the ones that are more interesting or not the ones that I recently read for. So yes. Oh, that's okay, Chertolino, but you can leave in the comment section, you can leave your recommendation if you have two people in mind that you would want to see. And to make it very like open to interpretation. It can also be between people that you are curious about, that you're like, I'm thinking about like, these two that they were close, but now I don't see them that close anymore, or I wonder how they feel for each other, how they view each other. So yes. Yeah, it's interesting because while I was going through my notebook, I saw that last year I did a reading for Utah and Hyde. Um, it was written down in there. So I don't know. I think that maybe it's just me, but um, I don't know. I remember that before Utah made his solo debut, it was like all the posts and everything, all the content that he usually like. He likes Hyde a lot, and they tag each other. Um, Um, but when his solo happened, I didn't see much of Hyde. I know he retweeted something about Utah solo being released, but I don't see them like hanging out like they used to. I wonder what happened. We need a new partner for you, then. From what I see, I mean, it would be nice to see their dynamic. Of course, it's a great idea. I mean, the reading that I did was for last year, so we can do 2025 reading. But yeah, it's just that Utah is so specific about the people that he hangs out with. And even when he hangs out with, usually now he's meeting with some actors and he's hanging out more with certain people from the industry, in Japan especially. Like with Utah, you don't know if that's business or if because it seems exciting when you see him post certain things, but then it seems like the connection maybe is not, it's not that deep. It's more like business, like. Yes, but then something happened. I don't know. I don't know. I think that something is not that the connection is over, but I think that something changed. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. We should pull cards to see that. Yeah, something has changed. Something has changed. Oh, maybe I didn't know that because that I wasn't using Instagram, so I couldn't check his post. See, I was missing a lot of things. Yeah, they do repeat themselves because I think that people are holding on very tight to certain people that they work together or they had cute chemistry. But I think that it's really difficult these days to find a duo that you think like, oh my, there's like this is. I think that this is something deep, or there's a true connection. Um, like things are weird, and also I think that when it comes to actors, there's something about them just not showing themselves with others. Like there's a sort of separation. Like. We don't want rumors, It depends on what benefits their project, so it seems very transactional. Um, didn't we do Yuta and his mother? Or I did mention his mother, right? In some of my readings? In my case, the only duo that I like, the person that I like with Yuta is Jungkook. Jungkook and Yuta are two of my favorites NCT members that they have a genuine, according to my opinion, I'm not an expert on them, but lately, like in the past 2 years, a year and a half, they started getting closer and closer, and they have really cute moments, but also very authentic. For me, like, because Yuta is my bias, I observe him a lot, and we know that he had always been like it's all about Mark. Um, to the point where it's expected. This is like they are always together, and they know that people want those moments, want them together, or have this sort of dynamic. Even their choreographies are sort of arranged for them to have these cute interactions. Uh, but with Jungkook, I started seeing See more of Jungkook because actually he was one NCT member that maybe I wasn't like that paying attention to him, like he's talented and everything. But I was still trying to figure out, who he is in the group, his identity. And then he started, showing like a funny side, but more than a funny person. Also, I think that after Doja Jung, he also grew a lot with them. He started showing that he is much more than the the funny guy in the group that makes everyone laugh. That he has um, other other parts. And for me, seeing Yuta react to Jungkook's presence, I'm like, they're really close. I think that they're really friends because Yuta doesn't smile with everyone. Like he's usually in his world. He's usually in his world. Like you have to be very close to him for him to be paying attention to you, even if he acts like he's not paying attention. So it's good because I want my bias to have more friends. Like I want my bias to have friendly moments, not shippable moments, friendly moments with other members that is not only Mark. Yes, I did mention her. Yes, the mother archetype. Yes, yes, I think. Uh-huh. Jungkook used to give me airhead vibes, but he's grown a lot in the past years. Yes, definitely, definitely. Of course that we know everything that has been going on with NCT, so with some members being gone, he grew a lot. He grew a lot, and his presence started showing. And you're like, he's much more than the typical, the funny guy in the group or the one that just, acts a bit, clumsy. Um, Also, he's so talented. Like his voice, the way he dances. He's like they all are very talented. But I think that Jungkook got probably in choreographies or in other moments, he got much more the center or longer seconds to be in the center. So we were like, oh, that's Jungkook. Um, I'm still a bit annoyed at the way they dress him because I think that Jungkook has a very like interesting body type. And sometimes they do put him in this very low rise, too baggy pants. Like there's something with me, and also this place that he's like the ambassador taught, that it seems like like his pants are hanging like even when he's wearing a belt, it looks like the belt is not working, it's not functioning well, it's not adjusting things where it's supposed to be. It seems like the pants are all the way down there. They are very low, very. I don't like it. Also, it makes because he has a long torso, so it makes his body look awkward. I don't know. I noticed that he's so skinny. He's so skinny and slender that it looks weird when they are too low rise. Like, yes, no baggy jeans for Junko. Yeah, because he's so skinny, like he doesn't have like a shape. So you're like, okay, well, the pants are sort of in there. No, he's just like one. And it's so unfortunate also that for Tots, they also make him wear these huge jackets, that they are leather jackets on him. And he's such a skinny person that it looks a bit like, it looks like he's playing dress up, instead of like the clothes are wearing him instead of him wearing the clothes. But that's just my opinion. I'm no expert. Maybe fans that have been fans longer than me, if they know, they probably know certain reasons why certain decisions are made. But for me, I was like, I want them to dress him better. Like he had earned, special moments to shine. He's stepping up, yes. But I think that when it comes to style in the wardrobe, they are still not giving him something that flatters him, actually. Mm, I think that they're trying to make him seem more masculine with heavy clothes. He has very soft features. Yeah, yeah, yes. It's just that it must be it mustn't be easy to to dress someone that is so, yeah, he's tall, but he's so skinny. He's so skinny. Um, like he needs to build some muscles. Like he needs. Okay, guys, I'm going to start. Okay, I'm going to start with the actor Sun Juni. Sun Juni. His public persona, his private self, and a resolution. Okay, for Sun Juni. This this oracle, I believe, I don't remember exactly, but I am sure that there was something about healing in the title. It's like something that it has to do with healing, the messages of this oracle. So I believe it's going to be a bit heavy. I'm seeing it right now, but yeah, it's been a while since I used it, so I think that is called Heal Yourself Oracle, I believe. So yeah, it's very old actually. Like it's been a while since I have it. But yeah, I'm going to use it in this dynamic. Okay, for the actor Son Joong-ki, for his public self, we have the Two of Swords. For his private self, we have the Seven of Pentacles. And then from the Oracle, he got the card of emptiness in the soul, or empty soul. It's really hard, this one. Yeah, it's really like it's tough. It's tough. But I think that maybe it has to do, like concentrating on this oracle, emptiness in the soul. I think that it has to do that maybe, definitely there's a disconnection between what he shows and how he is inside, and maybe he has been feeling a bit empty inside. This is why the oracle is like, you have to work on this emptiness. Like it is emptiness that you feel in your soul. You have to work on this. You have to heal this. This is like, this is not like, oh yeah, here you have, there's emptiness in your soul. No, you have to get a solution. You have to do something about it, to fix it. But yeah, with the public self, the Two of Swords, the Two of Swords it gives me, if this was like a toss-based tarot deck, this would be like like a Moon in Libra card. if we will have to associate this with energy, with astrological placements. For me, the Two of Swords is like not being a bit detached from maybe from what people are saying about him. He's like, he's not hiding. I mean, his public self is like, yeah, here I am, but I'm sort of wearing a blindfold. I'm blindfolded, like I'm not seen. I'm sort of evading having to confront certain truths at the moment. Maybe he is, yeah, he's showing up, he keeps working, but there's a level of like, okay, I don't want to make bold moves in my career, and I just keep going as if nothing happened. Maybe there's a bit of denial in him. There's something about him probably not facing or not showing to the public that it seems like he doesn't recognize certain mistakes or certain, not mistakes. I think that it's more about that he doesn't understand that just like he has people that love him, there's also people that are not very happy with him. And I think that it's been a while since he had been like sort of like, oh, I'm not listening, I'm not listening, I'm not listening. Like somehow the Two of Swords is like, you have to hear the good feedback and the bad feedback at the same time. It's like you have to find a balance, because these that people say, or the reviews that they give you, or the, what they say about you, not the haters, of course, but I'm talking maybe about his work. He has to hear the two sides. And I think that he's sort of in denial. He goes through his career or his public self with, with a sort of blindness. He's not that aware at the moment of, how people perceive him. Maybe he's like a bit in denial. He's like, oh yeah, everything is cool. I don't have a problem with anyone. I get along with everyone. Everyone is great. Like, there's something about him just not making bold moves or decisions. It seems like he's staying in the middle where it's safe. So maybe, the public can be like, we would like you to face certain things, or maybe or speak up about certain truths. It seems like probably his speech or the way he introduces himself is too polite, or he's too perfect. There's something about his posture just being too perfect, too well arranged, that maybe people are like, you are not seeing the reality of, what people really think of you. I think that you are still in denial. Like, you think that they see you a way that actually is not like that. So yeah, at the moment, I think that he's not facing the reality of maybe how things have changed for him. He's still like, no, I'm loved. Everyone loved me. I'm great. And his private self is very interesting, because the Seven of Pentacles, it definitely shows that it's not that the man is the Lulu when he's like not facing certain constructive criticism. I think that he really is like, is working. His private self definitely shows someone that is working. His private self is that this guy is very hardworking. He's very hardworking. He's not hiding anything. It's not that he's like, okay, yeah, I will not do anything, and I will expect people to love me anyway, and I will not do the work. No, he does the work. It's just that maybe he has like too much faith in his work. He's like, oh, this will pay off. This one, maybe this one wasn't great, but the new one is going to be amazing. So he's like waiting patiently for that one role that is going to lift him up again in the eyes of the public. But it seems like he's always waiting for something new. It's like instead of him, being like, okay, if I observe certain things, maybe I didn't do that great. No, he's like, no. He's like waiting for the next thing, the next project. Oh, the next project is going to be better. So he doesn't reflect. I would say he doesn't, at this point, I don't see him reflecting. I see him putting the effort. Definitely the guy prepares himself he rehearsals, he does everything. He puts the effort. It's just that he puts um a lot of his wishes, or there's something about him not facing like, okay, maybe this that I did, it wasn't that good. He's like, oh, well, like, sort of like, I don't remember. Like, do you think that you done great? I don't remember. But my next project is going to be amazing. Did I tell you about it? My next project is going to be amazing. So, denial, definitely. But, in the privacy of himself, I think that he's still he's waiting for that project that is going to get him to the top again. This is why he keeps being productive, because he's like, okay, the next one is going to be me. But probably the audience is also like the Two of Swords. They don't know what to think of him. It's like, we don't hate you, but we also don't, it's not like we really love everything that you do. It's like also a bit in the middle, like a bit, it feels a bit like we are not that interested in you, actually. we are being polite, and we are not calling you names or anything, but we are not that excited about you. So but it's interesting how I see him trying. His private self keeps trying, keeps working. But yeah, with the card of emptiness of the soul, there's this denial that he has, or there seems to be a disbalance between what he thinks of his work, or what he's doing, or how he's living his life, and what is really going on. I think that with emptiness in the soul, maybe he is a bit disconnected spiritually. There's something about him, looking always for the next big project, but maybe inside he's not that happy. There's something about him. Also, if you see these cards, the Seven of Pentacles, definitely it shows productivity. It shows that the man definitely shows up to work, and he does his work. But I don't see an emotional connection to what he does, and I don't see passion. I think that he does it just to stay working, just like to be like, okay, yeah, I'm working, I'm doing something, I'm working, it's like, yeah, don't bother me because I'm working, I'm going to be working. So it's like, don't say anything negative of me, because at least I'm still working, unlike other people, I'm still working. But with emptiness in the soul, definitely the cards are calling him out about maybe he needs to reconnect a bit much more with his spiritual side, or he just needs to, connect much more with himself. I think that there's a disconnection with whatever is going on in his life. He's not that aware. There's an absence, there's a void in his soul. Something happened. Maybe he was traumatized by something, maybe something happened, maybe a lot of things have been going on, a lot of changes. and he just, or maybe, he's not that also happy and accomplished with his role as an actor or an artist, and he just keeps working because, he is someone that he needs to be working, he just, but I think that for him it's more like, I need to do this so I can say I'm busy. More like, oh, I'm so passionate about this new thing that I'm going to do. It's more about responsibility and just remaining occupied with something instead of really connecting with the projects or even the fans or the people around him. Maybe he's also disconnected with the fans, the fans or the people that show support. Maybe there has been a bit of, like them not connecting that much with him anymore. Mm. But I see him keep working. Yeah, it's just that, yeah, like you say, maybe it's a bit. There's a bit of boredom in the middle. Like you're not there. There's something lacking. There's passion. You are not connected, and the audience is seeing this. Is seeing that, yeah, you keep producing, but what you're producing is not. It's not getting to my soul. You're not your message or what you did here. I'm not connecting with what you're doing here. Like I'm really not connecting. um and maybe, he is a guy. I don't know much about his work, but maybe he is a guy that probably in the past he had the ability to connect through his characters, to connect in a special way with the audience. Now the audience is like, what are you doing? Like, what is this? Okay, I'm going to continue with Han So-hee, the actress. Her public self, her private self, and an advice from the oracle. Yeah, probably is that, yeah, sure. Okay, good for Han So-hee. Okay, her public self, Eight of Pentacles, another one that keeps working. But this is something that maybe you see her. You see her perfection in herself. She's another person that, what the audience sees is that she keeps, perfection in herself. She keeps showing up to work. Another person that is very productive that you actually see her. Her private self, we have the Three of Cups. So also very positive, very positive. We know that she had, her controversies. There had been something going on last year for her, but this year, like her private self, is all about being surrounded by the right people and just having very close friends and friends that actually make her feel loved. So she has a strong friendship and people, and probably the staff, the people that works with her. It's all about celebration this year for her. So her private life, it seems very fulfilling. I like it. I like it. Probably she's not in 2025. It could be that she's not going to be that interested in romance. It's more about building relationships or building or strengthening her bond with her peers or with group of people, with her community, and with her closest friends. And from the oracle, we have the card of letting go. So this is very This is very Han So-hee. I think that definitely this year, she's letting go. She's letting go of, she's doing the work. She's definitely doing the work. I think that she probably recognizes that for her to let go has been difficult. Um, you know, to let go, it's a whole process. It's not easy. It's easier to say it than to have it done, to do it yourself, actually, to let go of something, especially if it has to do with something traumatic, like a past relationship, something that didn't work out, or in her case, maybe past, if she had controversies, or if she had very unhappy or unpleasant moments. I think that she's slowly this year just practicing the art of letting go, and this is the key of her happiness. I would say, I would say that she definitely has to work on letting go a lot. um, that's why when I see the Age of Pentacles, how the public sees her, people can say a lot of things about her character, or about, what it's available, what people saw, or the rumors and everything. But one thing that people um, cannot question is, how she keeps working. Even, I don't know if maybe this sort of shows that in the middle of, maybe controversies, she keeps working, or she keeps showing up, or she keeps doing her best. There's something about her, just keep working, keep perfectioning herself. Probably this year she's going to be very busy. Maybe people are going to see more of her, more content of her, seeing her everywhere. And and when I think about this side, the public self, I can sort of see a bit of resentfulness towards, like, the audience feeling annoyed. When you, especially if this is like the netizens, that they have very strong opinions about certain people. Like, okay, you done this, I don't like you. So I think that for her, a way of revenge, I would say, is like, okay, yeah, you don't like me, you're going to see me much more often, or you're going to see me work a lot. You're going to see my face everywhere. I know that you guys don't want me to be back. There's something about, maybe certain brands or certain people just being like, you should go MIA for a while, and just not participate in this, because the audience is a bit sensitive, or the public is a bit sensitive about what is going on. And she's like, no, I'm going to keep working. I'm going to show up. I don't care if you like my face or not, but you're going to see me. I'm going to keep working, and I'm going to be very good at it. It's like, I think that for her, it's like her best comeback, like her best revenge, I would say. Like, you think that you will not see of me? Well, like, I know that you don't like me, but you're going to see a lot of me, a lot of me. So yes, yes, definitely. She loves to challenge people and to trigger people. Like, she knows that probably people are like, or maybe there had been people that even threatened her about leaving her without work or opportunities. And she's like, oh, watch me, I'm going to keep working. You want to leave me without a job? I'm going to keep working. So, but definitely, yeah, with the Three of Cups, it also shows, like, I know that one of you, like, you showed that you said something about being a party girl. Yeah, definitely, the Three of Cups is also this. Is just being the best companion and having a few drinks and just dancing and having fun and just enjoying yourself, and just being very spontaneous and happy about it. So probably, her private self is that she loves to party. Maybe there's something about her just, really enjoying the nightlife, or, going to celebrations and just dancing and just, showing herself having a good time instead of hiding. There's something about people just wanting to keep her hidden. There's something about I don't know why. I feel like they're like, you cannot come back. Like, go and hide under a rock. Or don't respond. Don't respond to certain people. She's like, why? I'm going to respond anyway. So always, like always challenging the audience, and it's like, that perception that you have of me, good for you. Watch me. So she's very tough. She's very tough, and I think that she's someone that she refuses to go away. Maybe there's a lot of people that really don't want to see her anymore. They are like, can you get her out of here? And she's like, I'm going to keep working. I'm going to find my ways. And she also probably has very powerful friends as well that can get her deals. Because the Three of Cups is important. In her private life is important. This woman is not alone. Is not alone. But yeah, letting go. Definitely she, like, what she has to heal about this situation is the power of letting go. Because even though she's very resilient, she's very resistant, I would say. She loves to challenge people. And it's like, oh, you hate me? You don't like me? Oh, you're going to see much more of me. But at the end, the card of letting go is like, just let people, just let them, because at the end it does affect her. What people say of her, it does affect her. Even though there's a lot of effort here to pretend, not to pretend, but she's trying her best to show that she's not, like, you cannot cancel me, you cannot get rid of me. I'm a strong force. You're not going to get rid of me that easily. So at the same time, the card of letting go is like, let go of past grudges. Just let it go. Let it go. Even if someone brings it up, just let them. Let them. Let them. Because she is affected. She is affected. Even though she tries to act, tough and everything, she is affected. Mm-hmm. Yes. But she has good people, and really there's something also about just um, people not wanting to see her happy. It's like, but I have this because I think I see the Three of Cups, and the Three of Cups, you see these three women dancing together, and I think that maybe the people that really don't like her is also other women. It seems like it's very specific, the hate towards her. It's like, I don't like you because I don't like you. Like, it's not who she is, or what she does. It's more like, oh, I have this idea of you. I think that you are this kind of person, and I'm not letting it go. So okay, I'm going to continue with Park Min-young, the actress. Her public self, her private self, and an oracle. A lot of pentacles. So I now probably it's because I'm reading for certain actors and actresses. So there's a lot of, like, continuous work. Um, when it comes to the cards of Park Min Young, we have for her public self, we have the Six of Pentacles. We have for her private self, we have the Page of Swords. And from the Oracle, she got the card of healing. So definitely she's healing from something. I don't know if someone hurt her or there had been rumors or she's like, she's focusing on healing. I think that someone definitely like tried to hurt her or to, I don't want to say destroy her, but it seems like it's personal. Um, but her public self, I think that honestly, people see her like a very just and very righteous person. The Six of Pentacles is someone that probably doesn't give you trouble. I don't know about Park Min Young, how she shows herself, or maybe the fans do know. But for me, the Six of Pentacles is someone that always does the right gesture or the right, um, like she does the right action. She always makes sure that whatever she's giving is going to be beneficial. I don't know if she works um, with charity or something like this, but it seems like she's a very organized person when it comes to how she shows herself publicly. She's not someone that she will go out of her way to do something great and just, to get everyone's attention. But at the same time, I think that the Six of Pentacles is like probably the audience actually don't have anything negative to say about her performance or the way she works with others. When it comes to her profession, or maybe, um, her reputation, there's something about her just being very professional, very professional. She knows exactly what is expected of her. She does what she has to do. She's like another level of perfectionist. And it seems like she always makes sure that the other part is satisfied with what she's given. It's like probably she's like, okay, like, can you give me a feedback? Did you like what I did here? Or do you want me to do this better? Like, I see her um, just very intelligent, very, it could be, a bit cold from her side. Like when someone is too perfect or is too, everything they do it comes out perfect. So maybe there's something about her reputation at work that people are like, yeah, she always gave me this vibe of, that she's a good actress or that she's always on time and that people talk very positively of her. So she's like someone that is always like politically correct, like very um just Mrs. Perfect or Mrs. Perfection, or Miss Perfection, um which maybe for people is like, she's too perfect sometimes. I don't know. How audience is about like someone that just always gets things right, or someone that is doing well, or I don't know, maybe her projects are very um, are very well received. When it comes to her, maybe they really there's something about people just being like, about her work, we cannot say anything. She's always professional. About her private self, they don't know. But about her as an actress or as a colleague or as a employee, she's perfect. She's like um she knows what to say, she knows how to do things, super professional, super like she has everything under control. And also she's not desperate. I think that the public maybe when it comes to her roles and everything, maybe there's something about her through the years that people don't see her just being desperate to get that role. Like, oh, I want to get that role because I want to compete with this one and I want to win the best award of this year. She's not like that. She's like, I know I'm excellent. So I give of me what is expected of me. Perfection. Um, but she's not someone that you're like, oh, she's so desperate to get that award or to get that recognition. No, but at the same time, you see her like royalty, like she never misses. She always does everything right. So there it could be a bit of perfection here, like. And in her private life, like not her private life, her private self is different. Her private self, with the Page of Swords, definitely I think that, I don't know, maybe something is going on in her private life. I see her very reactive in her private life. Her private self could be a bit controversial about what she says. The Page of Swords is giving me like, if you cut me, I will cut you. If you say something negative about me, I'm going to say something negative back. She doesn't hush. She has a lot of discussions with people in her private life. In this card, I can sort of see her defending herself from something. But it could, I think that if people really, like, if you would record her, like, probably arguing with her family and friends, or maybe she's in a relationship with her partner, she can look a bit childish, like even like, wow, like, you in the K-dramas, or you as an actress, I seen you and I see you all glamorous and all put together and all perfect. Like, I didn't know you were like this. Like, actually, she's very combative. She's very combative. She definitely curses. She curses a lot, or she has this very impulsive um, speech. Like, if you do something wrong, if you hurt me, I'm going to say something very mean to you, or I'm going to really hurt you with my words. She can actually sound a bit like, wow, you look like you are younger, like you are much more immature emotionally. I don't know, maybe there's something about her, maybe in her personal life, when it comes to emotions and just, situations with people that are very close to her. And also her real self, not talking about her as an actress, because maybe as an actress, she gets roles of people that are very perfect, maybe the perfect girl, the perfect girlfriend, the perfect whatever. And actually in her private life, her private self, it feels like she she cannot express herself the way, she's not that free to express herself in her public self. So in her personal life, she probably is like, she unleashes everything that she wants to say, and she has a lot to say. She probably is very confrontative, or she's the type of person that would send you a lot of text and would call you 1,000 times if you refuse to listen to her, because there's something about her, just like, I will not let people just ignore me. Like, you have to listen to what I have to say. I have an opinion, and my opinion matters. So, so yeah, it could be controversial. I would say if someone would leak like her personal messages, or how she talks to her people, they would be like, "Oh my God, we didn't know that she had that aggressiveness in her." Yeah, she does. She does. And probably this also shows how maybe, in her private life, she always felt like she had to defend herself, because definitely the Page of Swords is someone that they, maybe there's lies, there's certain things that she feels like she needs to talk in order to clarify what's going on. Or maybe people have been telling lies about me, so I feel like I have to go in there and just say what I want to say, even if it comes out wrong of my mouth, if it comes the wrong way. But I have to say it. I have to speak up. I cannot remain hush. Maybe this also shows how, some people prefer for her to stay silent and not say much and just sit and look pretty. Just sit and be perfect, like your characters. And she's like, no, I have a lot of things on my mind. I have a lot of things to say. I want to clarify certain things. And maybe, because we see the page, maybe she deals with people that treat her like she's a child. Like, oh, you don't know anything, sort of dismissing her own opinions. This is why we have the card of healing. It seems like there's something about expressing herself, opinions, or maybe communication in her personal life that it had been affected. Definitely, she felt like people just weren't listening to her, or they weren't just you know they didn't give her also the freedom to express herself or to tell her side of the story. So she feels very betrayed. And this is why we have the card of healing. She has to heal this. She's very, she's actually the opposite of maybe what she shows at work or her characters, the characters that she plays. She's very different. But definitely it's a whole challenge for her to, in her private life or her private self, feels like it's really hard to get credibility or get people to take her seriously. Because the Page of Swords is someone that feels very like a child. You're treating me like a child. You're treating me like as if I know nothing and I know things. So yeah. Mm, mm. She's actually, the Six of Pentacles is also it's about give and take, yes, literally. But it's someone that also is it's like, the person that, okay, you give her this, she will keep the receipts. It's that organized, it's that perfect. Um, but maybe there's something, um, in her private self that somehow, I don't know if it's because she felt manipulated, or there had been some confusion, or there had been something in the private self of hers that she's like, this is not what I told you, or this is not what you told me. Like there's a miscommunication. There's something about her wanting to do things right, or being very meticulous about her finances, or about her life in general. And people knowing this, people knowing this. So if there's a scandal or something like this, people must be shook, because she has this energy of, like, being a very perfectionist person. Like, she doesn't do one thing out of place. um I don't want to say like a good girl, like, oh, she's like the good girl, or she's like, the perfect girl. But it seems like she always been like a very um righteous person, someone that does right, does what everything she does it with the law, or she's like very organized in her matters. But something happened, because the page of swords is giving me like someone betrayed her, or someone just not told her the truth about certain things. This is why she feels like a fool. The page of swords is someone that is sort of, fighting back, but no one is taking her seriously. So it's like, she wants to speak up on this maybe, but no one is listening to her. They are all like looking down on her. So I wonder if she dated someone that is older than her, that made her feel like a child, because there's this feeling of like, you guys treat me like a child, like I know nothing, but I'm not a child. I have a mind of my own. Oh, wow. Yeah, and literally the Six of Pentacles is giving and receiving. So maybe, yeah, her public reputation nowadays is like, oh, you are the person that someone gave you this and you receive it. But she's traumatized. Definitely, she didn't expect it. It's just that somehow, maybe the person was smarter than her, was way more intelligent, because she comes as a page of swords, someone that is like still in disbelief. Like, you want to prove your point, but you are inexperienced. Maybe if you want to speak up, people are not going to take her seriously right now. But she's very beloved. Okay, I want to continue with the actress Kim Jiwon. Her public self, her private self. Okay, for Kim Ji-won. I always confuse Kim Ji-won with the other girl. Can you remind me, guys, who is Kim Ji-won? What she has been working on? Because I always confuse the actress of Queen of Tears with the actress of Love Next Door. I always confuse them both. No, Kim Ji-won. Ji-won. Queen of Tears. Ah, okay. 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 For her, because I always confuse the both of them. I don't know why. For her public self, the Seven of Wands. So what do they do to this girl, to this woman, that she gets the Seven of Wands? Like, are they attacking her? Like, why? Like, what are you guys doing to this woman? Like, in her private self, like her public self, it seems like she's ready to fight you all. Like, what is going on? And her private self, Six of Cups. And from the Oracle, she has the card of alchemy. Alchemy. So she's very special. She's very special. Definitely with the card of alchemy, I think that this is a kind of woman that she has the ability in her hands to transmute everything in her life. She's definitely, I don't know why she gives me a bit of witchy vibes. Like she is that special. She's someone that she has a lot of power, a power of transformation or a power to maybe change the perception of people about her. Maybe when she really enters into these new characters, there's something that is very magical about the way she changes. Maybe she can be like cute and then she can be sexy and you are like sort of like enchanted by her. With alchemy, I think that she's probably in this year she's getting ready to change exactly what you guys think of her. Um, because her public her her public persona is very much on the defensive. So this is why I'm wondering, like, are people stalking her? Like, are people annoying her? Because I think that she's like asking desperately for boundaries. Like stop talking about me. Like stop, like leave me alone. Like let me be. Just I will put a barrier between you and me. Just stop it. Just let me have my personal space. Get away from me. So I wonder if people are that passionate about her. Or maybe does she have like a rest beasting face? Is it beach resting face? Yes, beach resting face. Does she have that kind of face? Because it seems like she's annoyed. Like her public persona is like, if you get closer to me right now, I'm going to punch you in the face. Like she can get like that. I don't know. Does she know how to fight? Because I don't see her that fragile. Like I don't see her like, oh yeah, I'm such a girly girl. I would never. No, I can sort of see a bit of aggressiveness in her. She's like, don't come near me. So it's so interesting, her public self. It feels very combative, I would say. But also maybe it has to do that this is a position in her public life. Maybe people maybe the people were mean with her in the past, or there's something about her feeling the need to defend herself, even when she is very popular or when actually she's doing very well. Maybe people just get very crazy over her and she's like, stop it. She's like setting the boundaries. She's like, no, you will not come closer to me. Like, I'm sorry, but no. So yeah, maybe she's also annoyed, but maybe she doesn't like exposure that much. She just doesn't like it. So she's like, no. She's like, you stay there. I will just stay here. Maybe in this moment she can be a bit fed up of the audience or just certain people. She doesn't seem to have that very welcoming, energy. She's like, stay away. Yeah, the resting beach face. Yeah, yeah. She's like, stop it, stop it. And her private self, the Six of Cups. Her private self is very sweet, honestly. She is um, a simple person. Like I think that there's something about her being like always thinking about like how the past was like the best years for her. Maybe also being a bit homesick. wanting to go back to see her family or to see her childhood friends or to see or former friends. There's something about her looking at the past and being like, I want to go back to that. I want to be a child again. There's something about her just wanting to be a child again, wanting to be protected, wanting to be in a place where she feels cherished and where she feels like, like treated like a child, like taken care of, I would say. Maybe she does resent a bit fame. Maybe fame is something that she's like, I don't like what I provoke in people. Like people go crazy and I don't find this like um admirable. There's nothing about her experience being like, oh, this is great. No, she's like, I want to go home. Like, can you please? Like, she probably also has a hard time trusting people. She's like, I don't want to be in this circle. Maybe if she even is in a circle of hanging out with famous people or with other actors or actresses, she's a bit like she doesn't feel like this is where I want to be. She probably doesn't like the scene where certain famous people hang out. She's much more of a simple person. She's like, I want to be home, just let me go home. I don't want to be here. Um, so yeah. But definitely with the Car of Alchemy, I think that she has a lot of appeal, and definitely with the Car of Alchemy is like, yeah, we know you are as a private self. She's a very homebody person. She's very simple. She probably just has, her group of people, her family, and that's it. She's not that expansive when it comes to connections. But also with the Car of Alchemy is like when she has to go back to do a project or when she has to go back to work, she transforms herself into this very powerful person, and also this very magnetic artist. So maybe there's something about her just playing very powerful roles in the future and just people being more obsessed with her because she sort of exudes. This is why I was like, it's sort of, she gives me like a witchy vibes, like she is special. This is why people feel so drawn to her. She has magnetism this magnetism that you cannot. She probably would do very well in very sexy, mysterious kind of characters, more than the sweet ones. But she's very sensitive to other people's energy, very private also. So yeah, I don't see her just, enjoying the fame. She's very much overwhelmed. Uh, mm. Yeah, it seems like she had a sort of glow up, and people are like obsessed with her. Like she's a lot of people's fantasy, probably. Okay, I'm going to continue with Twice Jung. Twice Jung. Public self, private self. The oracle. Okay. Public self, private self, and oracle. Okay. For Junction of Twice, we have the Three of Wands for public, the Five of Swords for her private self, And then from the oracle, we have the card of pride. So yeah, for her private self, I would say that for Chonchun, how she's perceived is about someone that is very driven. You know, probably this year she's going to do a lot of activities. She's going to accomplish a lot of things, a lot of things. Like you're going to see her advance in her maybe individual projects, you know, not only being part of Twice, but also her individual activities or endeavors are going to be very passionate, and she's going to keep advancing into this. And probably, you know, what she's creating, like her activities or her solo performances or what she has to do on her activities are going to pay off and are going to give her a lot of work. Like you're going to see her advance from one project to one program to another program, and maybe she even like having more than two or three programs or just appearances. Like I can sort of see her just gaining a lot of popularity and a lot of just you are going to see her work a lot in advance in her projects. So definitely a very passionate person. Also, people see her like her public self. It's like someone that feels so motivated to keep advancing. Probably people been very um, surprised, but even admire her energy. You know, her how passionate she is about her projects and how you see her everywhere. And you're going to continue to see her doing a lot of things and just being with different people or just having interviews. So she's so driven, and people are like, okay, yeah, she's working, she's making a name for herself. You know, definitely she is very she's very popular. But you know what I think that probably the audience notices the most is the advances in her projects, is how she has been like accumulating different experiences and how these ones had paid off. And they are like, okay, she did this, she started with this small gig, and then she transformed, she grew, and then she started another one, and now she has another one. So it's like a chain of different department stores. I don't know, it seems like very expansive. You know, it seems like she's maybe her audience is also growing and expanding a lot, her followers, that it all has to do with her individual talent, not so much about like, okay, yeah, what she does with Twice, because we also know that she is, very busy, because Twice is always touring, they're always working, they're always performing. But I think that in this, it has to do with people just being very surprised about like, how she goes from starting this small, I don't know, YouTube channel, and all of a sudden it blows up, and it becomes huge, and this allows her to have different segments or different episodes, and it is all like going and going and going. So definitely see Johnson like this, like a very successful, driven person, that she's actually like, she's like shining on her own. And she doesn't plan to stop. She will continue working. So people are like seeing her so active. And this is another thing, because this is very similar to when I read for the actress Han So-hee. I think that in this case, the audience, somehow they are like, oh wow, she's everywhere. But there's a bit of like a bit of a very envious attitude, like, oh really, that member is doing so well with this program that she has, or these activities that she has, that member is doing so well. And I think that people are like, they don't want to say it, but they are like, she, out of all the members, she's like the one that is progressing a lot. And it's like, yeah, because I don't know, is because the Three of Wands is all about, advances and being very ambitious and just keep advancing and growing and doing a lot of things. So I don't know. It also, since it's fire, it's energy. So I don't know if they have this very, you know, um, this very just narrow-minded perception that they see that she could be a bit lazy at her work, but actually no, she's not lazy at all. Despite of what you guys think, she's actually very productive, or she's very, she reinvents herself. She has a lot of passion. She's always on time. She's always introducing new ideas. So she's unstoppable, her energy. But somehow the audience is like, oh wow, she has all that energy. Like, oh, we didn't think that she would be able to do this. So there's something also of the audience being a bit petty about her and be like, oh wow, she's doing all of this. And yeah, because she's actually she's someone that she's unstoppable. The level of energy that she has and creativity, she's going to surprise a lot of people. And the Five of Swords, her private self. Um, I think that she's someone that she knows she has enemies. The Five of Swords is someone that she probably, her private self doesn't know how to relax, like mentally. It's like she probably is doing a lot of things, or she's like working a lot. um but at the same time, there's a part of her that she's still dealing with, maybe comments, maybe people being mean, maybe people just not saying it to her face, but she knows, like, there's something about her just being like, I know people don't like me, or I know that there's people that they wouldn't want to give me this opportunity. I know that they have these preconceptions about me. So somehow she is inside. She still feels like she's in a battle with herself. She has very negative negative thoughts or perceptions about herself and others. There's something about her just being like, yeah, I know these people don't like me, or I'm sure that they do this because they don't have another way out. So there's something about her just not being at peace, I would say. She's like a bit on the defensive. Her private self doesn't feel safe. Even though she's doing a lot and she's like, she has all these things that you see her moving a lot and doing a lot and just being everywhere, but her mind feels very just, she feels very on the defensive. She's like, okay, like she talks negatively to herself. Like if someone says something nice to her, she can use a bit of humor, or just being sarcastic. She is a bit hurt. She is a bit hurt. Still, she's a bit hurt still. Um, and maybe this is the reason why she doesn't stop working, because she's like, I don't want to give people a reason to keep talking or thinking negatively of me. But she definitely is. Um, she will still use humor and and just dark humor, I would say, or just maybe her mocking herself on purpose, just like to defend herself. She definitely is like on the defensive. And maybe it's all in her mind, but this also lets me know that she is very much aware of how people perceive her. She's not in denial about this. She's like, I know people don't like me. I know they would prefer to give this opportunity to someone else, but you're going to give it to me. So there's a bit of fighting back also, a bit of rebellion. Like, yeah, I know that you say that you like me, but actually you don't like me. Actually, I know you talked bad about me in the past. So there's something also about revenge a bit, her be like, I know that you're not that nice as you show yourself in camera. I know, I remember. So yeah, she's a bit, on the defensive. She's like, I know we're not that close. Like, you don't really like me. You just want to be in the show because it's going to make you look good, So she's like, I know, I'm aware. So she's very sharp. She's very sharp. And also, yeah, with the card of the Oracle, it says pride. So definitely, she has, like, her pride has been hurt. Definitely, this is why there's a bit of passive aggressiveness in her still. I think that she feels that she has been done wrong. That maybe some people have been very rude or very disrespectful towards her, and her possibility. I don't know if it's because people are like, oh, why doesn't she retire, or why doesn't she just disappear? We don't want to see her. Like, this is why I'm like, this is very similar to Han So-hee readings. It's like, we don't want her here. Like, the audience probably is like, oh, that one, like, oh, that girl, we don't want her here. So there's something about her, with the pride, with the kind of pride, being like, you don't want me here, I'm going to show up anyways. So you better smile to the cameras because you're going to see me. You're going to see me very often. So it's all very, like, revengeful. It's all pride based. But she's like, I have to show them. I have to show them. I cannot stop. I have to show them that, this is the way she's facing the criticism, or maybe, just people being very discriminatory, just being very, very mean, and just wishing, like, oh, her, oh, we don't want to see her. We wish there was someone else. And she's like, no, there's no someone else. You're getting me. So you're meeting with me. So you better change your face and your thoughts, because I know what you're thinking. There's something about her just being so intuitive. I mean, like, I know that you don't like me. I know it. I know that a lot of people don't like me and they don't want me here. But, I have pride. I'm going to show up. Mm. And also with the card of pride, I wonder, like, because, I love her. I don't care about her body shape, no anything. Like, I just love to see her because she has a great personality, and also she's beautiful. She's so beautiful. Like, I love her. But, when I saw the card of pride, I was like, she's still, we are going to get a transformation from her. So, those people that are like, oh, the way she looks now, someday she's going to come back to be like the skinny that she was before, or initially, and she's going to make fun of all of you. She's going to come back to that. It's just that it's not there yet, but she's going to come back because she's a Scorpio. So she's going to transform herself. You shouldn't mess with the Scorpio appearance because they're always transforming themselves. They're always changing. They're always changing. So, you shouldn't mess with their appearance because it doesn't last forever. They're always changing. I don't think that it's going to go back to exactly the way she used to look, but she's going to have this transformation that they are not going to have that possibility to talk about her appearance. It's like she's going to take the opportunity away from them. It's like, what now? I'm no longer in this shape. What can you say about me now? So yeah. Mm-hmm. She's going to have like, you're going to see her much more beautiful than you ever seen her. Like you're going to be like, wow, like it's huge transformation, huge. Okay, for ITZY Yeji, let's see her public and her private self. And the oracle for Yeji. Her public self, private self. Nice, nice, nice for Yeji. For ITZY Yeji, we have, for her private public self, we have the moon. Then for her private self, we have the Queen of Pentacles. And we have from the oracle, patience for Yeji. What is going on with her public self? Like, there's something with her public self that I think that people are confused about her. Or they probably see her. Could it be that people feel pity for Yeji? They feel pity for her? They're like, ah. Or they just don't know. I think that they overestimate her. Is it overestimate or underestimate? I always get that word wrong. I think that it's underestimate. But yeah, they take her for granted. And also they see her like a victim. You know, the Munkari gives me victim. Like, oh, poor girl. Like she doesn't know what she's in, what is happening. Like, oh no, like where is Yeji also? Like the Munkar is giving me missing person, you know, like we don't know where she is. Or I think I saw her, but I don't know if it was her. So I wonder if people are very confused about who Yeji is. I don't know, maybe it's her concept. Maybe she's mysterious. But people just like, you know, because the moon card is also gives me Pisces vibe. So it's all very imaginative also. Like instead of you guys being like, well, we haven't seen her, but you know, maybe she's okay because you know she's a she can do this, you know, maybe people thinking like, oh no, my God, she's so lost. Like what is going to happen of her? And actually, you know, maybe like people just project a lot on her, that I would say. And also they probably project a lot of insecurity on Jeji. Them thinking like she's like lost or like abandoned. Like really the public like has no idea like who this girl is. But they always fear the worst for Jeji. So why? That's what I want to know. Why? Underestimate. Thank you. Underestimate. But really, it's like a serious mindset. It's like a serious condition where you actually are not seeing the artist for. Maybe they also thinking that maybe they think that Jeji is a bit sad, is a bit blue, or they see her and they're like, oh my God, she looks so lost. Like a lot of suspicion. A lot of suspicion about her. Like you know, but also it's part of the projection. So maybe she has this sort of like persona where people really feel that way for her. They are like, no, I think there's something wrong with her. I think that she's hiding something from us. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I think I perceive that she's going through something, you know, and can you hear me? Let me know if this turns off again. But yeah, I was saying something about them, just seeing her like so helpless, so helpless. But actually, her private self is the opposite of that. Her private self is the Queen of Pentacles. So she is a queen. She is very stable. She has a lot of resources. She's very talented. Um, she's very secure of herself. She actually has everything that she needs and more. And actually, she has also a lot of maturity. She's not abandoned. She's not like at the mercy of of people just taking advantage of her. No, 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 no. She's very at least this is what I see now. Maybe this is this year of her finally, feeling. But you cannot just, rise up as the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is someone that has been, building themselves, building their empire, building their brand, building their image, building themselves. Like this is someone that is not like, oh yeah, I'm confident. I'm confident about myself. I think I will do great. No, this is someone that has, accumulated a lot of experiences, a lot of excellence, a lot of this is like someone that always gets straight A's all the time. So yeah, in private, she's actually very blessed. She's just feeling her best. She is an authority. She is a figure of power. And in her, she possesses um, a lot of abundance. Maybe it's because if she's having a comeback, maybe it's because literally they're going to put a lot of money on her. It could also be. Like she's holding the budget. It's like for Jeji, it's like here, everything for you here. You're going to look amazing. We're going to make you shine. But definitely, she trained a lot to be this queen. Like you don't get to be a Queen of Pentacles just because you want to. You have to rehearse a lot. You have to gain a lot. It's not something that just happens because you wish to be a Queen of Pentacles. A Queen of Pentacles is someone that has been very consistent in their efforts. So yeah, maybe, finally her private self feels like, I'm finally going to shine. I'm finally going to show you guys like my maturity, what I have to offer, that I'm in control, that I shine on my own, that that she will come to rule you all because a Queen of Pentacles is like the boss. So yeah, and also we have the card of patience. for her, for Jeji. So I think that it makes sense why maybe, we go we go for maybe people just feeling very sorry for Jeji and her circumstances, or maybe the group's circumstances, and people just fearing for her and getting a bit paranoid, like what is going on with her, is she okay? And I think that it has to do with this card, with patience, that maybe, Jeji actually hasn't been showing any kind of resistance to whatever has been going on. Maybe some things have been unfair, some things have been, postponed, destroyed, just things hasn't been good for her, maybe. But with the kind of patience, there's something about her always being patient and always waiting and just not freaking out and being like, someday I'm going to get my chance. Someday we're going to rise up, and that day is going to come very soon. And maybe she is this Queen of Pentacles because she was able to wait for her moment. The card of patience is like, I could have freaked out a bit, and maybe this attitude could have confused people, maybe people wanting her to do more or say more or react more. And she always tried to remain very neutral, not say much, just maybe being silent and just been sitting there, and people being like, oh my God, she's not, what is going on with her? She's not saying anything, is she okay? This is why people project all their fears into her or her body language, people suspecting a lot, their intuition just kicking in and being like, there's something that is not okay about Jeji. And maybe, Jeji was just reflecting and waiting for her moment, just being patient instead of, becoming a drama queen or just becoming erratic. She waited. She waited. And patience is the key for her. Patience is the key to her success, to the level of mastership that she has and ownership that she has. So it's amazing to see her like this, because definitely this is someone that knows what she's doing. She's someone very well trained. She's mature. She knows her worth. So yeah, probably, it's going to be great, her solo. But yeah, very, very different from what the public, the public persona, just maybe people also just being confused by her. I don't know. Maybe if you're a fan, you can tell me maybe what your perception of Jeji is, or used to be. But it seems like she confuses a lot of people, or maybe people just attribute certain, um, certain things, to her. Like, oh my God, she looks sad. Oh my God, I think that she's depressed. And actually, no. Okay. I'm going to continue with Enhypen Sunghoon. Public, private, and oracle. Okay. For Enhypen Sunghoon, we have for him, for his public persona, his public self, we have the Hermit. For his private self, we have the Seven of Pentacles. And for the oracle, we have the card of Have Faith. Is Sunoo religious? Does anyone know if Enhypen Sunoo is religious? It's very interesting. his public persona, like, people just they are very curious about Sunoo. And they also see him very lonely, very isolated. Maybe this is the way he likes it. He likes to be reserved, or he likes to keep to himself, or he likes to do individual activities without having the other members around. But also people, I could see that people project a lot on him. They are like, oh no, because he's a loner. Oh no, just let him be because he doesn't like to be with others. Oh my God, there he goes again, being by himself. So there's something about people to seeing him like in comparison to maybe other members. They see him like, oh, he's all alone in that group. He's like the loner of the group. No one's accompany him. He's always left alone, and they always left him alone. And like this definitely could go extra miles. But people see him like he is like maybe his character or the way he shows himself. People are like, oh, also having pity of him. Being like, oh, it's just that he's such an introvert. He doesn't have the social abilities like the others. He prefers to keep to himself. And it's like people see him like even they could be like, he will be forever alone because because he's so shy, or maybe he doesn't have, the ability to speak up. And they just feel like, oh, poor him, poor him. Um, and honestly, for me, I think that also, this is a strategy from him. The public self being the hermit, for me, this is a strategy of his. He could be a loner, but at the same time, I think that the hermit is also someone that is always like studying himself. So, and studying others, because I think that him being this public figure, him probably being isolated from the rest also gets him more attention. I know that it is a weird a weird like connection, but I think that for him, being a group of with people that maybe they stand out a lot because they have different personality traits or just different characters, and maybe some of them are more flashy than the others, or some of them are funnier than the others. Him being this very reserved, mysterious, and that he keeps to himself and everything gives him this uniqueness, and maybe people focus more on him because he's like, oh, because he's reserved, he doesn't say that much, oh, he doesn't share with the others, he has his moments where he wants to be alone, he and this sort of also gives him the opportunity to stand out in a group of maybe full of extroverts. So this is also part of his strategy. His strategy is that it's not that he's an introvert and that's it. It has a purpose. It has a purpose. I don't know if maybe this is something that the company gave him, like a sort of role or a concept that he has to play, being the introvert. But I think that for him, it gives me more like, oh, this is what I have to become, so I can shine on my own as well. Um, so, and also maybe to bring a bit of balance to the group, maybe the others are too excited or they are too much, and he's like the one that calms down the dynamic. Because yeah, the Seven of Pentacles, it gives me this energy, that he's always working, that he's always like rehearsing, he's always doing something, he's always perfectioning himself, and I think that there's something about intention with the Seven of Pentacles. He puts intention to be this. So maybe he also studies a lot, or he practices a lot on his own, or he's given different things to study on his own that he has to do without the others. I think that this is he has to be like this, because it's a sort of role that he plays. But also he has to put a lot of effort and studies into being like this. I think that the card also it talks about work. He's like, when I cannot say like he is like this. It's more like because of my work, I have to be like this. When it comes to his private self, I think that he's still he's still working on himself. I think that his private self also is not that well developed. I think that he's still trying to figure out who he is as a private person, or as a person that is not an idol, or as a person that is much more than than an entertainer. You know, I think that he's still trying to figure out who he is outside of being an idol or an artist. You know, also the Seven of Pentacles, it gives me that he is much more career orientated in this part of his life. He's not that interested in like, oh, I want to get to know myself. He's much more like, I want to practice more so I can do more for the group and so we can advance with the group. So he's much more focused on results and on growing and expanding his own talents. He's also waiting for his moment. He's waiting for, I don't know, it feels like it's part of it's all related to the progress of the group, but he's sort of like inside, like his private self is working towards getting a comeback, that that comeback can be like his moment. You know that sometimes when we think about idols, we always think like, oh, this era was his era, or this is the era where he had this glow up, or where he really became more popular, or where he really had this transformation and we saw a lot of growth and a lot of expansion in him. I think that he's thinking about like, okay, the next comeback, it has to be my comeback, you know, something like that. So he's much more about the now, you know, and the near future. And also with the card of has faith, you know, with the card of have faith is also is all about like him being having this very wishful thinking of like, okay, it's going to be my moment, you know, I'm working towards my moment. So I think that for him individually, he's still not sure of who he is. He's much more focused on his career and what he can give to the fans. And also maybe because they are very young, maybe also they don't have much time to develop their deepness. Like they are not that connected with like, okay, who am I besides being an idol? Because they are so focused on work right now or what they have to do or to give to the fans. But he's very hopeful. He's very like he has a faith. This is why I'm like, is he religious? Because I sort of see him praying or just hoping for this great breakthrough or opportunity for him to finally have his moment of shining, I would say. He does get killing parts all the time. Yeah, but it's not about get the killer part. It's more about like, you know, like I want that moment. I want that moment that people really remember me. Like he wants to be the best of the best. He wants to have that. He wants to be the most popular, probably. And he's like waiting for that moment. Very focused on his career. Okay, now I'm going to continue with Jung So-min. Now it is Jung So-min of of the other one. Public, private. Okay. No, the actress. The actress of Love Next Door. Jung So-min. Okay, for Jung So-min, we start with the Ten of Swords. We have this is the public self and this is the private self, the Six of Wands. And then we have the card of sexuality for her. Sexuality. So for this actress, um, did something happen to her? Because I don't know what is it about her public persona being this defeated. Like again, I'm getting that people feel sorry for her at some point. The Ten of Swords, it could be like, it could slowly be dissipating, like it could advance. It's like the final stages of suffering, I would say. But her public, like, why does people think that she is like defeated? That is like, like, there's she always go through this some kind of disappointment. Like also people just been, I don't know, maybe on the internet just been very unpleasant towards her, just making very mean comments towards her. So yeah, I don't know why people think that it's like when someone, like, they are like, I want to help you, I want to give you, like, constructive criticism. This criticism is a sort of feedback because I care about you. So I want you to know this. And somehow, it's all filled with very heavy criticism, actually, that is not that constructive. It's not that, like, I think that it's like being mean. So I don't know. I think that I don't know what happened with her. Because from the last K drama that she did, I believe that she has a lot of fans rooting for her. But I don't know, maybe, they are disappointed, or maybe they see her disappointed. Like, I don't know, but it seems like it's very heavy on the criticism, or it's very heavy on the, like, oh, poor you, like, oh, again, like, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, they don't have like the best. um I think that there's something about them being like, well, we hope you come back from this, or you rise up, but it feels very negative, like very heavy. And her private, actually, her private self is the opposite, because her private self is actually feeling like a champion. The Six of Wands is like she feels like a champion. She feels like she won. She feels like actually like she has been doing very well for herself. Or maybe she had achieved a lot of things in the past that were very important, advances for her. Maybe she won certain recognition, or she was able to, work with certain people that she hasn't worked before. So for her, this is like the best moment. Like her private self feels very fulfilled, and also there's something about her just feeling very celebrated. Actually, she has a very strong ego, or maybe she has people around her that they really love her, love what she does. They support her. They let her know, okay, we love you. This is great. And also, the six of wands could be also that now, things are doing well in her life. Maybe, she has new projects, a project that she's looking forward to this project. Then maybe, she in her personal life, she's also doing great. So there's something about her just being very proud of herself. Like, actually, I'm very happy. I'm very happy. Like, I'm getting what I want, and I'm so celebrated. And I feel like everything that I wanted to accomplish, I had accomplished it. And I'm going to accomplish more in the future. So it's very different from what people see of her and how actually she feels. She feels like a champion. Or maybe, she has, not so long ago, maybe she signed a deal, or she was able to, I don't know, get opportunities that are going to be very, very successful for her. So she's actually feeling very well she's actually very proud of herself. The private self of her, I would say, in this moment, is that she's so proud of herself. She's so proud of herself. Very proud. very proud. And no one is going to take that away from her. So I wonder what is going on with the public, the public reception. Why do they feel like she is such a loser? Like why? Um, and also here with the card of um, sexuality also. Um, could it be that she's going to get like a sort of role that is going to be much more sexual, or is going to give her the opportunity to show a sexy side of herself? Because she's like feeling so confident. And I think that when you see this confidence, maybe it's her working on her own sexuality or working with her own perception of what sexuality is or means for her. Um, I can sort of see her just maybe she's going to go through a transformation, or maybe she's getting good sex, guys, because from the oracle it says sexuality. So there's something about her and her relationship with sex that is changing for the better. So she's going through a sort of glow up. So maybe, in her personal life, she's actually very satisfied. And this sort of reflects on her mood and how she views herself and how she values herself. But definitely sexuality is very important for her. Maybe she was able to confront, I don't know, certain limitations or certain things about this aspect of her life that she maybe wasn't enjoying. She wasn't enjoying that much, and sexuality is very important for her. Um, Also, maybe as an artist, I don't know if she had played a sexy role before, but it would be very interesting if she could, go and explore, a more sensual or sexual kind of person or character, because it would also allow her to train her own sexuality. Because it gives her vitality. It's very uplifting for her spirit and for her personality. So to have a good relationship with sex. So yeah, but she feels like a champion. So she won at some point. Like something happened. Must be jealousy because people feel she's going around with Jung. I mean, she's feeling sexy. This year she's feeling sexy. She's feeling desired. She's feeling wanted. She's like, I'm the one. So, you know, it could be. It could be. This year is the year for her. This year is the year. All about pleasures. Yeah. But the opposites of the cards that she got, the opposition of the cards is amazing. It's amazing. Okay, I'm going to continue with Blackpink Lisa. Her public self, her private self, and Oracle. Okay, for Lisa, we have the Magician for her public self. For her private self, we have the Seven of Swords. And from the Oracle, she got the card of Beauty. So I think that she's like getting along better with feeling beautiful. Definitely. Like the card of beauty for me is like, maybe she's finally finding her style, or she's finally feeling comfortable in her own skin and finally like reconciling with her beauty or her style of beauty, and just like being like, yeah, I'm feeling beautiful. Maybe, in past years, there was something about her just not connecting with maybe what I don't know who used to arrange her wardrobe or do her makeup or do her hair. But I think that this year, there's something with beauty, that there's something here that sort of reminds me like, you are beautiful the way you are. You don't need to change or disguise. I think that it also has to do with race. It has to do with her embracing her natural beauty. And maybe this also has to do with, her being a bit away from, the Korean, the type of beauty that is in there, the way they put makeup on the idols, the whitewashing, all the things, the wardrobe, all the things that they do to, especially when you are not Korean, when you have different features, they can put all the whitewashing on you. But if you have certain features, it shows that you are not one of them, or that you don't have the plastic surgery that they have. So I think that in this case it's about reconciling also with her raw beauty, and maybe also being surrounded with people that can help her and teach her, like from woman to woman, teach her how to play with her beauty and play with her uniqueness and play with her features and play with her body, and it's like, it's okay to be different. Like, you actually, here you're welcome to be different. So, just go ahead and do it. Um, and so maybe we will see more of Lisa just, being, you know, without makeup on, or there's something about maybe the style of her hair or something like this that is going to show much more her initial beauty, and not so much like all the filters and all the makeup and everything that is. It feels like for a very long time maybe Lisa was more like covered by clothes and makeup and style, instead of them um, uplifting the attributes that she already has. So she's learning much more about, being like, yeah, I'm different, and this is how I look, so I'm going to exude this, and I'm going to reconcile with beauty, because there's something about her that she needs to go back to feeling beautiful. Maybe she does struggle a bit with, calling herself beautiful. um Her public self, the magician. The magician, it definitely shows that, how the public sees her and how she shows herself, definitely, because this is her intention, to show herself as the magician, as someone that is very talented, as someone that is like, okay, what do you want to see of me? What side of me do you want to see? I will pick one and I will transform in that and I will show you. I will entertain you. And there's something about the magician also, like, the magician always has available, the tools. So it's like they never run out of creativity. So there's something about people, the public, perceiving Lisa, and also Lisa showing herself as an entertainer. As an entertainer, it's like, what do you want to see of me? What color do you want to see of me? I will show you. I will show you. I will show up and I will command the stage, or I will take over this performance. You are going to be focused on me, whether you want to see me or not, but your eyes are going to be stuck on me, whether you like me or you hate me, but you're going to be like immersed in my universe, because in my stage, I rule. So they definitely see Lisa like this strong, powerful entertainer, that she definitely asserts dominion. Everything that Lisa does or shows to the public, it has um, a very strong presence, I would say. She's like, you're not going to see Lisa on a lazy day, or on a day where she's like, oh, I think I'm going to give less. No, she's like, no, that's not who I am. I'm passionate. And she's very possessive of her craft. She's very possessive of the position that she holds. And she loves to also prove people wrong. I think that if people want to like be like, oh, you will never get to perform in there, or you will never get to win this award, she's like, watch me. I will get what I want. She's like a true manifestor. She's like a true manifestor. This is another person that she could also have, psychic powers, or she could have the ability, to transform her reality and get what she wants at the end. She's like, you're not going to see me weak. You're not going to see me on a bad hair day. You're not going to see me in weakness. I'm always on stage mode. She's always like operating from a place of the entertainer. She never relaxes, never relaxes. She's always ready. She's always ready. She's like, do you want to watch me? Do you want a show? I will give you a show. And everything that she does is like this. It's like here I come. This is me. You better do not get in my way because move. This is my realm. This is my dominion. She's so resourceful, and I think that this is something about people being like, she does everything. Like there's not like when we think like, oh, I seen this of Lisa. She's going to do something different, and she's going to go and maybe work for people that you're like, I didn't know Lisa did this. Yes, she's going to be in the show, and she's going to participate in this one, and she's going to do this. So yeah, a lot of respect for Lisa, I would say. A lot of respect. She definitely knows how to play the audience. Um, her her personal life, her personal self, not personal life, her personal like private self. Her private self, I would say, is very similar to what I've seen of, that I was mentioned twice, Jeongyeon. And I think that, twice Jeongyeon, she got the Five of Swords. And in this case, Lisa has the Seven of Swords. So Lisa is more like agile in the sense that she can literally run away from people. Like she can just leave a conversation, or just leave people on red, or just ghost people, or just like, leave a room without people noticing that she left. This is like something like very ninja. It's like, quietly I will leave you, or quietly I will disappear, or I will convince you that I'm going to do this, and then, I'm going to omit certain things about myself, and then I'm going to get away. Um, the Seven of Swords also gives me, just like the Five of Swords, it gives me that she does this as a way of survival. So definitely this shows that her private self probably is very distrustful, that whatever she is or who she is with, she doesn't fully trust people, at least not in this period in her life. So it can feel from time to time, if you want to be part of her life, she probably is going to disappear on you a bit, or just evade you a bit, or just like not directly confront you. But with her absence, you're going to sort of notice like, okay, I think that she doesn't want me here. So there's something about Lisa just not being able to relax in her private self. She feels like this is like a game, like Game of Thrones. Like you are a character of Game of Thrones where all you have to do is survive. So you cannot trust no one. You cannot trust no one. So there's something a bit dramatic, a bit maybe exaggerated, but she doesn't trust people. And she is not in this part in her life, she's not willing to stay if she knows that she can get hurt, or if she knows that people want to take advantage of her, because she definitely is a very powerful person. Despite of whether if you're a fan of Blackpink or not, Lisa is very imponent. She's in charge. She's very strong. She has a lot of influence, and she knows this. And maybe, she is surrounded by people, or she knows that in her environment, there's people that want to take advantage of her influence or of what she has, or maybe what she knows. There's something about her just being like, I don't talk about certain things. I will give you an example. Maybe about the girls, the other girls, the Blackpink members. It's like, some people just casually just asking her about, like, oh, is she in a relationship? Or, does she have a boyfriend? Because I'm curious. And everything is cool. And maybe she knows this person, but she's like, about the girls, I don't talk. About their personal life, I don't talk. So it's about her just being very selective and just having to be very strategic about what I say and what I don't say, because anything can be used against me. So she's playing a game, definitely. She's like living in a very dangerous zone, I would say, because she's like evading certain situations, certain conversations, just maybe trying to make things casual, not staying around that much or moving a lot or just, traveling a lot and be like, let's go here and then let's go there. And it's like, it's not safe for me to stay. And she's like, it's not safe for me to settle down this year. Much more, I will have to escape or evade the traps that people put in my way, because maybe people want to see her fall, and she doesn't feel safe. Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. Yeah, it is exhausting, but she's like, I have to survive. I have to survive. She doesn't know where she's. Can you hear me, guys? It's just that it's the mic that is running out. It's just that I cannot find the other one. Can you hear me, guys? No, it's just that this one is like, that I did turn it off, and actually I was meant to change it, but I couldn't find the other piece of the other one. Now I did find it, but yeah, once it starts turning off, once it's like the battery. It's like telling me change it. But yeah, it's weird, this mic, because the other day I was rewatching one of my live streams, and you know that, yeah, the mic, it ran out of battery. Like the green light, it shut down. The green light wasn't working, so it ran out of battery. But when it was working, I can hear myself. So I was like, it's so weird. Um, Yeah, like I was saying about Lisa. For me, this Seven of Swords attitude is like you preserving certain things, like I cannot trust these people, I cannot fully relax and just show myself like spontaneously, because they can, create gossips, or just, talk about me, or being like, oh, I heard that she said that this. So it's like you have to be very careful about what you share, what you communicate, what you say. Even if it's like a random opinion, it's like her being who she is. She has to watch out, because maybe there's a lot of gossipy people around her. So they're like, what do you know about this? And then, eventually she has to go back to South Korea, and being part of Blackpink is a sort of reminder that she's going to be in idol mode while she is with Blackpink. So you know how they are over there when it comes to rumors, and they don't forgive. So okay, I'm going to continue with the actor Lee Dong-wook. Okay, for him, for his public self, we have the Page of Pentacles. For his private persona, we have the Tower. And for the Oracle, we have the card of Attachment. So yeah, I think that this is why people maybe think that he is a bit like, sometimes a bit detached, or it's really hard to understand, why he says what he says, or why he communicates what he communicates. Definitely, I think that the audience, the more he probably grows older, the more people see him like an amateur, or probably the more people are starting to see him like, oh, you're being childish, or you're acting like a rookie, you're acting like you've never been here, like we know that you had been here for a while, so why are you acting like this, and I think that this is like sort of his way of staying in the industry. He's like, I have to pretend sometimes in certain interviews, or in certain gigs or activities that I don't want to do. I have to sort of, bring back that childish or childlike curiosity, and just responsibility of being like, okay, I will study about this. I will get informed about this that I have to do. Okay, I will follow the rules. Okay, I will tell you what you need to know, or I will behave cute because you want me to behave cute. So, so I think that definitely he's like, very diligent. There's something about him being so hardworking and so studious about what people want of him. And he probably does it with a mocking face, or there's something about him just being a bit condescending. But you cannot deny that the man just keeps giving you content, moments, interactions. He's there. He's there. He's like, it's just that I have to act sometimes to adapt to the new generations. I have to act like a fool, or I have to act as if I'm innocent, as if I never done this before. So sometimes I have to act a bit careless, or I have to act like, oh my God, I'm surprised, when actually I'm bored. I've seen this before, and probably, also the Page of Pentacles, it gives me like
he's really curious about the new generations, probably, of actors or of artists. So he's like, I want to learn from them. So a way to learn from them is to become them or to be one of them. So if I hang out with 20 something people, I'm going to act like a 20 something, I'm going to personify that. So there's something about him also being very consistent with what he gives to the audience. So yeah, people are like, you act weird. You act like an amateur and you had been here for a very long time. And he's like, yeah, but this is a new era. So we have to adapt to the new era and we have to learn about them and we have to show curiosity about them and we have to study like they do. I have to study everything because it's not easy for me to hold information. So I have to sit down and study and study and start from scratch. So he's funny, but he is definitely his soul feels very young, and I think that also people probably are like, his attitude is very studious. His attitude, he's like a student for them, especially when you compare him to the other actors or maybe to other people. So yeah, definitely. um his private self. Um, his his private self is a mess, I would say. Um, I think that he's a complex man. There's something about him wanting to destroy his old self or his foundations or how he used to transit fame. He's changing, definitely. It's just that he is chaotic. He's a very chaotic man. You don't know, you definitely don't know um, who he is because he's like a volcano. There's something about him just being he's like ready to risk it all. He's very unexpected like this. Um, I think that he's so confusing because he doesn't even know what he wants. He just knows that he wants to start over. Um, he knows he has to destroy parts of himself because he's in this place in his life, in his private self, where he's like, I can no longer be living like this. I have to change certain things about myself. Certain things that I thought that were going to be part of me forever. Um, I have to destroy them and become a new man. Um, but he's very erratic. Definitely living with him is not easy. Living with him is not easy. Um, just it's not peaceful either because he is not in peace with himself. He's like sort of like going through um, a lot of things inside his mind. That he's like, a lot of things are changing around me. So I guess I also have to go through a transformation. This is not about a transformation. I think that he has to get rid of certain behaviors of his, or the way he has been doing things is not. He hasn't been working personally. Not about him, the artist. It's more about him, the man. He's a very erratic person. It's really hard to get along with him because you don't know when he's in a good mood or when he's not in a good mood. Um, he's just It's really hard to read him. It's really hard to also understand what makes him happy. What do you want? He's like a full contradiction on himself. He is like, you ask him like, who are you and what do you want, and he doesn't know what to tell you. He only knows that he is like, he's like, I can be gone one day and that's it. Something like this. It's like for him nothing is permanent. So this is why when you want to get maybe intimate with him and you want to ask him a very deep, meaningful question or philosophical question about like, who are you, what are your expectations, your dreams, your goals, he's so he's all over the place, but he never finishes an idea. um and he has been acting like this for a very long time, just being erratic, just maybe being annoying on purpose, because it sort of represents, the how maybe, he had been stuck in a place, mentally, and now he's sort of accepting that things cannot continue like this, that um he has to change. He has to, okay, if you're going to start over, just like destroy it, but don't threaten people with like, oh, I'm going to destroy everything. Just destroy it. Just don't say it. Just do it. He has been postponing maybe certain situations, but also the card of attachment. This is what he has to let go of. Attachment. Somehow he has been attached, to an era, to a moment in his life where he felt like he was happy, or he was his happiest, or he was, just going through the best times with the people that he loved, and he's attached he has an attachment to the past or to a past situation. And this is what is holding him hostage of that. And he hasn't been happy. He hasn't been able to find happiness again. But the tower is like, you have to start with yourself, with your private self, like change. Like, you want to be happy, you want to make someone happy, just change. Because right now you are like not so pleasant to be around. You are not so pleasant to be around. You are annoying. You are impossible. So stop it. Stop it. Just change. Just like mature. Just, I don't know, but these people can sort of understand because they can put up with this certain immaturity, because it's like, okay, this is a character. You are here to entertain us. But these these you cannot live with someone that is like this. Or you have to move to the side and wait for him to finish this process, finish this destruction, finish this the fall of everything that he fought in you. Also maybe, embracing that he is changing, that he is no longer the same. I don't know how old he is, but maybe it has to do with age, or it has to do with, that you are not like you used to be. You're not a teenager anymore. You are not a teenager anymore. You are not this anymore. So, he has to resolve that. And he definitely has an attachment to the past. This is why he has been acting in automatic, because he hasn't been able to resolve this. But definitely he has to. This year he has to. Okay. For the actor, Woodley, Woodley or Leo Wu. But yeah, I think it's Woodley. We have his public and private persona or self, and we have this. Um, okay, for him, we have the Queen of Swords for his public self. Then we have the Seven of Swords for his private self, and then we have the card of Veracity. Mhm. I think that the cards are sort of be like be humble, live live a good life, but live it. Try not to spend too much. Control your expenses. Live a simple life. Maybe he also comes from a very from a background of him just being, I'm not going to say like him being poor, but maybe he comes from, I don't know, from a family that has everything, but it's like very well taken care of. It's not full of excesses. Um, um, I think that he has to control himself. The public self, we have the Queen of Swords. So a lot of communication because he had two swords, two cards of swords. So I wonder if he's a lot online or if people just talk a lot about him and they say a lot of things about him, or they just I don't think it's about rumors, but there's something about him, maybe people wanting to talk to him or wanting him to do these live streams or just appear and fun. Like, it's all about communication. And I can sort of see him being in charge of the communication. The Queen of Swords is like, yeah, I will show up and I will answer all your questions. So probably, the audience, they really love how they can reach out to him and how he sometimes appears to clear up any confusion. Um, they sort of see him like a bit feminine, I would say, with the Queen of Swords. I don't know if people are like, oh, he has this very soft side, or there's something that he reminds me of a woman, the way he communicates. Um, Definitely, I don't see him being a softie when he communicates, because the Queen of Swords doesn't hold back. The Queen of Swords is like, if she can hold, like, if she can, like, put you in your place, she's going to do it. And if she's going to cut your head off also at the same time. So I wonder if people are like, oh yeah, he is very, very communicative, but also, he has to talk online. He's very straightforward. He always, tries to clarify what has been going on or what he has been up to. I think him very open to communication, but always trying to remain the control of what is being said of him, or at least trying to be fair and just speak up. Maybe if he has a platform or he has the possibility. I see him like people did really respect him, because maybe, there were moments where there was a lot of misinformation or a lot of confusion around him, or around his project, maybe. So I can sort of see him being someone that just, rise and appears and is like, hello, I have something to say, or this is my posture, this is how I feel, I want to communicate you, these guys. So I see him very much in control. Um, I wonder if he has to defend himself or something. Because his private self is the Six of Swords. So again, this is someone that his private self also doesn't trust people. He probably feels like he cannot settle down in one place or with certain people. He feels like he always have to be on the move, and just not share that much about himself. I think that also is being strategic about like, okay, what do I tell people about me? How do I tell them what they are asking me? Um, Definitely, he could be hiding something. Also, a Seven of Swords is someone that is, it's not hiding, but I think that he's evading certain things. He's evading something, definitely. His private self, it feels like, maybe the environment, maybe the business is not it's not a safe place for him at the moment. Maybe there's a lot of competition, there's a lot of rumors, maybe there's people, inventing, creating these rumors or trying to, you know, take advantage of him. So it feels like he's always like on the run, just in case I'm on the move, just in case I will disappear, or I will go silent. Um, if the situation is, if in the situation this is needed, that you guys need me to be silent, I will go silent. And also maybe that he just doesn't want to share that much information about himself. He's like, I prefer not to answer that. Or maybe if there's people that are curious about his personal life or who he's seen, or if he's seen someone, what his, I don't know, his taste in partners, or he's like, I prefer to change the question. I prefer to change, or maybe just leave you hanging. Maybe I will give you a generic answer and I will just leave it in there. But for him, I think that his private self doesn't feel safe, doesn't feel like he is in a moment where he's like, okay, I feel grounded. I feel like nothing can bother me. He probably has a bit of he probably feels a bit paranoid, maybe about the internet or about people or about who he associates himself with. These are sensitive times for him, definitely. These are sensitive times. This is why the card of morosity, it's like, just be very careful, administrate well your resources, don't go to the extreme, be humble, be sensible all the time. Every time you want to make a move with your money or with your lifestyle, just please, remain modest. Don't make like extra gestures or just purchases. Just live a very you know peaceful life, I would say, because I don't know if maybe it's people that are just curious about where he gets his money from. I don't see money here, but I think that with the source is like, omit giving details about what you do with your money or your influence or your position, because people are just curious, it seems. I see him giving statements. Like, I see that every once in a while he has to go out and clarify something about himself. So maybe that's, but yeah, it's tough being him. It's tough being an actor in that environment. Thank you, Chachalino. Yeah, I was going to tell them the same. I was going to tell them, please, I'm going to create, before Saturday, I'm going to create a community post for duos, for, certain duos dynamic, how do they feel for each other, what's their perception. So yeah, we can do a mix of a lot of this. So yeah, you can post that so I don't forget to read for these two. Okay, and I'm going to continue with the last one, that is 17 Mingyu. And then I'm going to go because I'm super tired. Okay, for Mingyu, public persona, private, advice from the oracle. Ah, it's so cute. Okay, for Mingyu, we start with his public persona. We have temperance. From his public persona, we have the Three of Wands. Yeah, and from the oracle, we have inner child. He's so cute, inner child. Yeah, I think that for Mingyu, definitely his public persona is that he's an angel, literally. Like, we have the angel of the temperance here. So with this, I'm not saying like, oh, he's an angel, he doesn't do anything wrong. No, I think that is the way he transitions the being an idol. Everyone wants a piece of Mingyu, honestly. Like, everyone wants to talk to him, or to get a picture with him, or to see him, or to, go and meet with him. So he's like so open and so nice with different kinds of people. I see him being friends of different kinds of people from different backgrounds even, and him trying to get everyone to get along. And I think that this is why, the temperance for his public self is someone that he's like the one that gets the other together, or he's the nuclear. He's the one that brings the opposites together, or he's like the one that maybe creates a certain dynamic with people that they don't know each other, and he's like the one that gets them to meet. So he does a great service, like a public person that he is. First of all, he wants peace. He wants everyone to get along. He doesn't want, fandoms to fight each other. He doesn't want competition. He doesn't want people bringing drama, talking bad about another one. He's like the type of person that he would just be like, you have to reconcile. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Like, don't argue about these things. This is nonsense. So it can sound like he's like, maybe, like, people being like, yeah, it's not that easy to get along, or it's not that easy being like, yeah, forget about what happened in the past and let's just reconcile. But in his vision, his way of viewing, his influence. He's also someone that he thinks a lot about, what he puts out when it comes to energy. And he's like, I want to be the person, that nucleus that gets everyone together. I want to be that person. Um, and and he's like, it doesn't matter how different we are. We can get together anyways. And also, I think that he's trying to make everyone happy. I think that he's trying his best to make people feel proud of him. He's trying to get, um you know he's just a great force to be around. It seems like, maybe there's something very childish about his view, because we have, inner child. So there's something about, maybe, Mingyu in these cards. It seems like he's so optimistic. It seems like, wow, everything is possible for you. But sometimes people are much more complex. Sometimes people just get offended, or people just don't want to be associated with others, or they just don't want to address certain things. And he's like, but why not? But why not? We should reconcile. We should see the other person's point of view. The temperance is all about, reconciling the opposites, of a situation. It's like you are different, but let's get together no matter what. And he's someone that he tries to bring this to his world. Um, his private self is that he's always looking at the next thing to do. He's a very simple man. He's a very hardworking man, and he thinks his life in terms of activities or new purposes or new goals. He's a doer. He's like, okay, this I done last week. So yeah, what's next? So he's always thinking about the new activity to do, the new purpose. He's always thinking about, like, in terms of, like, okay, what can I accomplish? He's a doer. He's a very driven person. He doesn't reflect that much, honestly. He lives the present, but at the same time, it's like, give me something to do, because otherwise I will get bored. So you have, like, the child that he is, like, his inner child needs to be entertained, or you need to give him homework, or you need to give him something to do, because otherwise he's like, but what am I going to look forward for tomorrow? Like, give me something to aspire to. So definitely he's also knows that he's going places. He probably is also this year, his private self is also thinking, like, okay, yeah, I have to get ready, because I know I'm going to be participating in a lot of things. So yeah, so I'm focused. I'm ready. Like, what do I have to do? I will go and do it. um yeah, an inner child. Definitely, he always listens to his inner child. He's like, I may seem like I'm a child still in my heart, but he's like, I'm authentic. I'm authentic. I just follow my body, what I have to do, what keeps me moving. And also, he doesn't want people to just, he doesn't want to be a bad influence for people. He's like, I don't want you guys to worry about me. I don't want you to get, like bad for me. Like, that's not the influence that I want you, or the vision that I want you to have of me. I want you that when you think of me, you think of nice things. This is why I'm working for you guys. I'm working because I want to show you what's next, or I want to show you that good things are coming in the future. He's going to be putting a lot of effort to entertain everyone. um, but he's someone that always conciles. He's always trying to make things right, and he's always trying to bring the positivity, the possibility to heal people, to make people laugh. He's like, I may seem like childish, or I may seem like, I'm always like, it's all about playing and games, and that I'm not that connected. But actually, he's very sensitive. It's just that, maybe he's someone that he's much more, like, he knows his purpose in this earth. He is spiritual, but he's intuitive. He knows his purpose in this earth. It's just that his mentality, or the way he processes his intuition, or what he feels, is very unique. It's like a child. It's like a child. He just receives. He receives, and it's like, okay, this is my purpose. I have to be this. I have to be this. And I don't care if people make fun of me, but this is the role that I'm playing. And the role that I'm playing is important. So yeah, yeah, he's so sweet. So sweet. And he's so busy. He's so busy. His private self is just happy because he's busy. He has places to go, he has activities. So he's like, guys, let's not get sad. Let's just reunite and just cheer each other up and just be positive. We got each other. So yeah, let's make the most of these moments. Let's not get emotional. Yeah, he's very nice. He's a simple man. As long as his inner child is happy, he's happy. so tired, guys. So tired. Yeah, thank you guys for being here with me. Thank you so much. Yeah, and I will see you on Saturday. That I will do the duo tarot readings for for whoever you have recommendations. Remember to be original, to try to give different duos, or maybe I know we all have our favorites. I know it. I'm going to read for some of them, but yeah, if you can introduce an interesting duo that I haven't read before, someone new, it would be very nice for me to read for new people. But yeah, this is a new year. This is 2025. So yeah, a lot of new energies available for certain friendships or duos or dynamics. So yeah, let's have fun. Um, and yeah, let's enjoy that this is like the Valentine's month. Let's see, what these duos do for each other. So yeah, I will see you on Saturday. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.